Welcome to another edition of the Poe Underground Podcast. I am your host, DK McKenzie. In today's episode, I have two musical poems I'd like to present. This first piece is by an American poet named Russel Davenport. The name of this piece is called Movement for an Imaginary Violin, from a suite of poems that he called Songs from the Dusk. And before we launch into the music, I just wanted to say that I was intending to do something jazzier, but encountered some limitations and roadblocks and decided to pull a U-turn and sort of came up with something more bluesy and I would say flamenco inspired, at least what's happening on the classical guitar. So it's a mixture of a couple different genres. The drums were meant to be a little jazzier. All of that being said, let's launch into it. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Take me there, far, far within. The scarlet cloisters of the clouds hung over. This glassy water terrace rimmed with clover. Oh, my imaginary violin. It cannot hush as thin, as wild, as sweet as miracle. Mad lover, my heart must almost perish to discover what ecstasy of wine we are, what kin. Yet you grow slow aloft and falter, fall. I scarcely hear at all those drops of tone. Warblers and swallows call across the water, drawing shore to shore. The woodpecker, the dusk. Oh, play one more note. That is all. And that was Movement for an Imaginary Violin. For this next piece, I originally was working on something more electronic, and I decided to throw all of it out because it wasn't working very well. So I started back from scratch and decided to go with something way, way more stripped down. And this is mostly all organ, and there's like a synth sound, and that is it. 2 voices. The organ part is completely improvised in one take. I made a video of it, of the performance. I pretty much knew it was going to be one take at a certain point, so I decided to record it. I'll be putting that on YouTube next week. Anyway, let's launch into it. The name of this piece is called Scandinavia. It is by an American poet or writer whose name is Walter Sagmaster. Really couldn't find much about this guy. It looks like he didn't print much in books, but was a writer for a magazine in Chicago that went defunct in 1930, so there's not much information on him. But anyway, it's a great poem, and I hope that I did it some justice, and I hope you enjoy this. Scandinavia. The shrieking spiral of the maelstrom whirls into the deep guts of the cold sea. Ho! The fierce gulls, blind with brittle rain, whip terrified wings against the great glassy walls of the ice mountains. Ho! The wind screams like a young god in torment, like a young god whose flesh is being eaten by hot irons. The wind howls and whines and whimpers. Ho! The fire daggers of heaven slit the black sky and plunge into the fat bowels of ships. See? Where hot blood spurts from the entrails of ships, fountaining mast-high over gleaming, crackling skeletons. Ho! The anger of heaven roars rumbling fury down on a savage sea. An ocean of thunder sweeps limb to limb with an ocean of water. Billows of sound lock with billows of spray in wild, mad war. Ho! But that language, I know it well, that one, that tongue have I been taught early, that speech have I learned well. What roars the anger of heaven? There is a hearth glowing. What right the fire daggers in the black sky? 4 walls are leather hung. What screams the mad wind? One woman makes one bed. What shriek the fierce gulls? One woman sings one song. What whirls the swift maelstrom? One lamp at one window. Ho! I know that language. And that is it for today's podcast of the Poe Underground. I just want to let you guys know that although I've been trying to stay on schedule for every 2 weeks with the podcast, I might slow down a bit with that production because I'm looking to revamp this podcast and I'm looking for certain collaborators in certain departments, and we'll be changing the format. Hopefully it'll be better. The original intention of this podcast was to work with other people, and so far I've been doing everything myself for the most part, other than I've had one friend work on a couple of pieces, as you already know, and everything else has been myself. So I'm looking to start pulling in some more collaborators and hopefully change in a better way the sound of the Poe Underground, and we'll go from there. So I don't know if this next podcast will be in 2 weeks, but figure 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. I'll keep you guys tuned in. You can also reach out to me on social media, on thepoeunderground.com, on Twitter, and we'll go from there. And we'll see you then. Take care.